Right now, you have a rough sense of what time it is. Not because you checked your phone, just because you know. The light outside, the hunger in your stomach, the hum of the world around you. Your brain is constantly collecting dozens of tiny signals and assembling them into something that feels like an internal clock. But what happens when every single one of those signals disappears? What happens when there is no light, no sound, no other person, no schedule, no reason to know what time it is at all? In 1962, a French geologist named Michel Siffre climbed down into a glacier cave in the Alps and stayed there, alone, for 2 months. No clock, no sunlight, no contact with the outside world. He ate when he was hungry. He slept when he was tired. He kept a journal and called the surface team every time he woke up, convinced he was keeping perfect track of his days. He wasn't. What felt like a single night of sleep was sometimes lasting 14 hours. What felt like 2 days was sometimes 5. By the time he emerged, he believed he had been underground for about 34 days. He had actually been down there for 61. His internal clock had not just drifted, it had collapsed. But here's what's fascinating. It didn't collapse into chaos. It collapsed into a rhythm. A slower one. Without external cues, his body settled into a cycle that was no longer 24 hours. It stretched. Some of his days ran 48 hours long without him noticing. He would be awake, working, eating, feeling completely normal, while an entire day passed above him that he had no idea existed. Siffre went back in 1972, this time for 6 months, and the same thing happened. But worse. Toward the end, he reported something that no experiment had predicted. Time didn't just slow. It stopped feeling real. He described sitting in the cave, staring at nothing, with no sense of whether a minute had passed or an hour. Not boredom, something deeper, a kind of dissolution. The feeling that he, as a continuous person moving through time, was starting to come apart. Because it turns out, your sense of self is not separate from your sense of time. They are the same system. You understand who you are partly because you can place yourself in a sequence. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. Memory behind you. Anticipation ahead. Remove time, and that thread starts to fray. When the world stops giving your brain time cues, your brain doesn't hold steady. It drifts, and somewhere in that drift, the line between you and the silence gets harder to find.